Hello and welcome back, dear students. Wish you all stay happy, healthy, and safe at home. I'm Yojana Parak, and today I'm going to discuss fourth part of Joint Stock Company of Organization of Commerce and Management for Standard 11. In the previous videos, we saw the meaning, definition, characteristics, advantages and disadvantages, and types of joint stock company. In this fourth part, we are going to see that how a company can commence its business, how joint stock company come into existence, and how it establishes. So the beginning process of joint stock company. This is the procedure of formation of joint stock company. So there are two main procedure of formation of company. First one is promotion and second one is the procedure to obtain certificate of incorporation. After that, company can start its business. Now, in promotion, there are 4 steps. First, the idea of promotion of company come in the mind of the promoter, and then primary and detailed investigation about the business of the work or the business which the company is going to commence, that is investigated, and then mobilization of resources will be available or not, and whether it will be available at cheaper cost or higher cost, and how they can mobilize all needed resources to commence the business. And fourth one is the financial arrangement, that how much capital would be required for commencing the business, and how they can procure that fund and how they can use it. So all these questions which arise before starting the business, that comes in the part of promotion. And when this whole investigation analysis is done, then all the documents are made and are filed to ROC, that is Registrar of Company. Second procedure is procedure to obtain certificate of incorporation. First one, Memorandum of Association. Second one, Article of Association. Third, List of Directors. Fourth one, Written Consent of Directors. Fifth one, Declaration of Interest in Other Company. And the last one, Statement of Fulfillment of Provisions of Law. So these many documents have to be submitted before Registrar of Company. Then after, the company can commence its business, and it will get CIN number, SIN number, that means the identification number of company. As we are the citizen of this country, and the government does not know us by our name, but the government know us only by our Aadhaar number. So same way, so on the first step, our government is there, and in government there are various departments, among which there is a particular department for handling company's affair, that is called MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And now that is a central ministry, and that cannot handle all the affairs of corporate sector. It has so many work. So for the help of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, that is MCA, there is a subdivision of MCA which is called ROC. That means Registrar of Company. Now we know that MCA is a central authority, and under that ROC comes, and ROC, that is Registrar of Company, is established in every state, or it can be that few states which are smaller and it is not needed to establish a particular ROC in that state for particular state. So it can be that by merging two or more states, they can form one ROC for all those merged states. But it is certain that for every state there will be a ROC, and every company will have to register their name in ROC, and then ROC will report to MCA and MCA will report to the government. So this is the process, or you can say this is the steps. First, company will go to ROC, ROC will go to MCA, and MCA will go to government. So this is the step. Now, before commencing the business, when the company goes to registrar office, it has to submit particular documents which will prove that company is binding all the laws of Companies Act. The company is following all the rules and regulations. That means the registrar of company rules over the activities and over the commencement, and it consider whether the company is following all the laws and provisions prescribed by the act or not. So in this way, all the legal terms and commencement of the company and document of the company are watched by registrar, which work in the registrar office, that is the ROC, registrar of company. So in this way, the work of ROC is most important in this process. Now we will see in detail what is Memorandum of Association and what is Article of Association. These are the main, or you can say the most important charter documents of company. In Memorandum of Association, the goal and objective of company are mentioned. That means this is the first basic fundamental document of company, and any document of that company cannot be in contraction of Memorandum of Association. That means if in any clause of Memorandum of Association, if it is written yes, then any document following after Memorandum of Association will have to follow the same statement. That means in every document for that particular thing there should be yes, as it is written in Memorandum of Association. So Memorandum of Association is the most important document, and every document which is formed after that, because Memorandum of Association is the first document which is needed, so every document which is made after that will have to follow the Memorandum of Association. That is compulsory. And the Memorandum of Association is the basic concept of company, and the Article of Association deals with the inner management of company, that how company will work, for how many hours, and how the salary, or how much will be the labor and machinery, and how they will work, the material or the kind of work, the process of work, everything. So in Article of Association, the inner part of or the, you can say, the daily working part of company will be mentioned, and the rules and regulation regarding that will be mentioned in the Article of Association. The Article of Association can be altered by passing a resolution in the meeting, and if some alterations are needed, they can be made by the consent of its members. But it is difficult to make changes in Memorandum of Association, as it is the basic document of company. So for that, if only there is amendment in the Companies Act, that for a particular case there can be alteration in the Memorandum of Association, only then Memorandum of Association can be altered, otherwise not. So for that, there should be a provision in the Companies Act, and Article of Association can be altered by passing a resolution in the meeting. Now this, after submitting these two main important documents of the basic fundamental of company and the inner structure of company, then they have to mention the list of directors which will manage the company, and written consent of those directors that they are willingly accepting that they will work as director in the company. And then they will have to declare if they have any interest in any other company, so that they will not harm the particular company in which they are holding the place of director. So that declaration is needed, that if they are interested in any other company or not. Then finally they have to submit the statement of fulfillment of provisions of law, that declares that they will follow all the law and provisions and rules and regulation of the Companies Act. So in this way, company come into existence. Let us see all these topics one by one in detail. First one is promotion, that is the idea to bring a company into being and to make preparation for the same. The executor of idea of promotion of a company is called promoter. At this stage, following points are to be considered by promoter. Now, first, the idea of a particular business, of a particular company, comes into mind, and in which person's mind that idea is coming, that person is called promoter. Not because he has the idea, but the promoter has to promote all the activities till the company commences its business. So he is the brain of that idea, and he will execute the idea until the company begins. So the promoter is the beginner of the thought of company. Now, what are the main points which a promoter will have to consider for starting a company? So first one is the idea of the promotion of a company. the idea of promotion arises in the mind of promoter. Here, the word promotion does not mean by increment, it means by establishment, the beginning. So, the idea of beginning of company arises in the mind of promoter. He considers to promote a company in order to implement a research or to place a new product in the market. Promotion is the brainchild of the promoter. That means to begin a company is the brainchild of a promoter. So the promoter is the most important person without whom the idea even of company cannot begin. So this is the first step and first person for commencing the company. Promoter, it is not necessary that only a single person can be a promoter. It can be a single person or group of people or organization or institution which can be promoter and which may have the idea of arising a company for a particular purpose, that can be research or to place a new product in the market. So with a certain purpose, that particular idea of beginning or commencing a company comes into mind of the promoter. Then now the idea is with the promoter, but now the question arises whether that idea will be successful or not. For that, investigation is made in detail. That is known as primary and detailed investigation, because it is done before commencing the company. So that is why this is the primary and detailed investigation. After having an idea of promotion of company, the promoter has to undertake business-oriented empirical scrutiny in the direction of implementation. That is, selection of business location, profitability are to be evaluated. After primary test, a detailed analytical evaluation is essential. Information about capital, raw material demand, equipments, facility of transport, etc. are to be collected. So in this way, the promoter will collect all the needed information about the company, without which the company cannot be started. So the beginning part is the idea, and now after the idea, the investigation is made, analysis is made, so that they can put the idea to implementation. And for that, they will evaluate the purpose of the business, the type of business, and in detail that how will they arrange the capital, raw material, what will be the demand of that product, how will they arrange the machineries and equipments which will be needed for that particular product, and the facility of transport, labor, etc. are to be collected. That means you can consider that all 6M, that is money, market, method, material, machine, and man, and you can add minute also. So how will they manage this 6M? Now the detailed investigation is done about this, and final they will decide that whether the idea is fruitful or not, whether the idea will be profitable or not. Now after investigation, they will see the mobilization of resources. They have investigated that what kind of resources will be needed. Now whether those resources will be available at a particular location, and whether they will be available at cheaper cost, because the ultimate objective of a company is to earn profit. So they can earn profit by keeping cost under control. So it is necessary to see that whether all the resources which are needed will be available at cheaper cost or not. So for example, if a company is going to start making a particular product, so for that machineries will be needed. Now the question arises whether they will make the machinery, whether they will buy the machinery from the country or from outer country or foreign. So this kind of questions are investigated, and the suitable option is chosen. So now promoter has to enter into contract to obtain land, raw material, machinery, services, etc. for the implementation of promotion. So as the promoter is the beginner of the company, even though company is not established yet, but he can enter into the contract in the name of company or in the name of his own before commencing the company, because he is the one who is going to deal with every aspect of the company. So he has the right that he can enter into contract, because this is prior commencing the business, prior commencing the company. So one person is needed for that. So in this way, promoter is the one who get the idea of beginning a company, and then he investigate about every need, every necessity, every requirement, and then it evaluates it, and finally it see the most appropriate and profitable option. As I told you that promoter is the beginner of the company, so he is the most important person, and mostly the promoters are the only one who will do all the activities before commencing the company. That is why they have the right, because they are doing this much work, so they have the right to come into a contract for the company for any purpose. And after the company starts, when the company gets commencement, so the contract which are made by the promoter will have to be renewed by the company, so they can be made legally. If the company does not renew the contract made by promoter, so those contract will be void. So because the promoter is doing this much work for the company, so promoter gets the right that it can enter into a contract, but the company will have to renew his contract and will have to accept those contract. Otherwise, all will go in vain. There will be no meaning of the services provided by the promoter. Next one is the financial arrangement. It is to be considered from where and how to procure capital for procuring the equipments and assets. Newly established company raises capital through shares, but yet the company has not established. But the promoter work comes before commencing the company. So until the company is registered, it cannot issue the shares, and the capital which is needed for commencing the company cannot be brought by shares, because shares are issued after commencing the company. So the expenses which are made for commencing the company before its beginning, so those expenses are made by promoter, and the promoter have to consider that from where and how they will procure the capital for that, and how they will procure the capital for equipments and assets, and how they will establish the company. After establishing the company, they can issue the shares and get capital from the shares. But before that, when they do not have shares and the capital is needed for beginning, uh, for commencing the company, so that capital is managed by the or arranged by the promoter. So in this way, the promoter work everything for commencing the company. It begins from the thought of the company, and then the investigation for commencing the company, and then analysis is made whether they will be able to get all the resources needed to commence the company will be provided or not, and how they will provide it, and whether the resources will be mobilized or not. And then the implementation of the idea is made, and finally for the implementation, the financial arrangements are made by the promoter. So in this way, the promoter looks after every aspect of the company before its commencement.